Tonight, welcome to a quiet corner of the universe where your mind can slow down and your imagination can drift without effort. Picture yourself floating in a gentle darkness, not empty, but full of distant light, stars you cannot count, galaxies you cannot name, and ancient signals that have been traveling longer than human history. The cosmos isn't just out there. It's a story written in light, gravity, and time, and every chapter is still unfolding. As we begin, imagine the night sky as an ocean, calm on the surface, but unimaginably deep beneath. One of the most humbling truths is that the stars you see are only a tiny fraction of what exists. Our own Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars, and it's only one galaxy among trillions. When astronomers estimate the total number of stars, the result is so large it becomes almost poetic, more stars than grains of sand across Earth's beaches. Each star is its own furnace of nuclear fire, some hotter than the sun, some cooler, some short-lived, some quietly steady for billions of years. And around many of them, planets likely circle in silence, worlds of ice and rock and cloud that may never be seen by any eye, yet still exist, faithfully orbiting in the dark. Now let your attention widen to the scale of the observable universe. The part of the cosmos we can see is limited, not because the universe ends, but because light needs time to travel. Since the universe has a finite age, there is a horizon beyond which light has not yet reached us. The observable universe spans tens of billions of light-years across, a vast sphere of visibility made from ancient light arriving here, now, like messages delivered late but still legible. Yet beyond that cosmic horizon, space almost certainly continues. More galaxies. More darkness. More time. Not an edge, but a limit of our sight, like standing on a shore at night and realizing the ocean continues beyond where your eyes can follow. And here is something even stranger. The universe is not just expanding, it is expanding everywhere at once. Galaxies are not simply flying outward through space like sparks from a firework. The fabric of space itself is stretching, increasing the distance between galaxies the way an inflating balloon increases the distance between dots drawn on its surface. From any galaxy, the view looks the same, everything else appears to be moving away. This is not because there is a center point where the expansion began, but because expansion is a property of space itself. That idea leads naturally to another misconception the mind loves. Many people imagine the Big Bang as an explosion inside a pre-existing emptiness. But the deeper truth is more subtle and more profound. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space. It was the beginning of space, and the beginning of time, and the rapid growth of the universe from an unimaginably dense and hot state. There was no outside space for it to expand into, because space itself was what expanded. Even the words we use are imperfect, because language evolved for daily life, not for describing the birth of reality. Yet the universe left behind an astonishing clue, a faint glow that fills all of space, coming from every direction. This is the cosmic microwave background, ancient light released when the young universe cooled enough for photons to travel freely. It is the oldest light we can detect, a gentle afterglow stretched and cooled over billions of years until it became microwave radiation. It surrounds you right now, invisible to your eyes, but measurable with instruments, like a whisper from the universe's infancy still humming in the background. Within that faint glow are tiny temperature differences, almost impossibly small ripples that acted like the universe's blueprint. Over billions of years, gravity amplified those ripples, pulling matter into clumps that became stars, galaxies, and the vast structures we see today. Gravity, in a sense, is the sculptor of the cosmos, but the material it sculpts is not always visible. A great portion of the universe's matter does not emit light at all. We call it dark matter, and we infer its presence through its gravitational pull, how it bends light, how it holds galaxies together, how it forms a hidden framework that visible matter follows. Galaxies are not sprinkled randomly. They gather along immense filaments, and between them are cosmic voids, regions so large they can span millions of light-years, places where matter is sparse and the darkness feels even deeper. This grand structure is often called the cosmic web, and it is one of the universe's most beautiful patterns. A delicate, sprawling network on a scale so vast that the mind struggles to hold it. And yet, even this is not the full mystery, because the universe is not only expanding, its expansion is accelerating. Something is pushing space to stretch faster over time, a phenomenon we call dark energy, a name that admits our ignorance while pointing to something real. Dark energy appears to make up most of the universe's energy content, acting like a gentle but relentless pressure built into space itself. Its nature remains one of the greatest open questions in physics. The universe, it seems, is mostly made of ingredients we cannot directly see and barely understand, and that alone is a kind of wonder, that reality can be so vast and yet still keep so many secrets. As you imagine all of this, remember one quiet fact that connects you intimately to the cosmos. The atoms in your body were forged in stars. Elements heavier than hydrogen and helium, carbon, oxygen, iron, were made in the cores of ancient suns and scattered into space by stellar explosions. Long before there were oceans, forests, or cities, there were stars living and dying, enriching the universe with the building blocks of chemistry. In a very literal way, you are made of cosmic history, assembled from stardust that traveled through darkness for ages before becoming part of you. The universe is not separate from you. You are one small expression of it, aware for a moment, listening to the story the sky has been telling for billions of years. Tonight, let your attention drift a little farther, past the familiar idea of stars as distant pinpricks, and into the strange ways the universe behaves when you zoom in or zoom out. One of the most calming things about space is that it moves on enormous time scales, where even the most dramatic events unfold slowly, like a long breath. Galaxies collide, but the collision can take billions of years, and even then, stars almost never crash into each other because space is so vast that each star is like a grain of sand floating miles apart. When two galaxies merge, their gravity reshapes everything, stretching spiral arms into ribbons, pulling gas into dense knots, and triggering waves of new star formation, bright nurseries where hot blue stars ignite and shine fiercely for a short while. It's a reminder that even cosmic destruction can be creative, and that the universe often builds new beauty from old structures. Our own Milky Way is not standing still either. It rotates like a slow celestial wheel, carrying our solar system around the galactic center at a speed that would seem impossible on Earth, yet feels completely still from our tiny viewpoint. One orbit around the Milky Way takes about 250 million years, meaning the last time our solar system was in this position, dinosaurs did not exist yet. In that sense, the night sky is not just a backdrop. It's a moving landscape, and we are traveling through it continuously, even when we feel motionless in bed. If you imagine our galaxy as a city of stars, then beyond it lies a larger neighborhood, and beyond that, a vast network of neighborhoods, with groups and clusters drawn together by gravity. Our galaxy belongs to a local group of galaxies, including Andromeda, and on larger scales we are part of an enormous supercluster structure, like a continent made of galaxies. These structures are not random. They form along the cosmic web, guided by the gravitational pull of matter, especially the invisible dark matter that shapes the scaffolding. And while gravity builds structures, the expansion of the universe stretches them apart in the long run, like a tug-of-war between attraction and distance, between gathering and spreading. The universe's expansion is measured using a concept called the Hubble constant, which relates how fast a galaxy appears to recede to how far away it is. Yet even this seemingly simple number holds mystery, because different measurement methods don't match perfectly. It's as if the universe is hinting that our understanding is still incomplete, that there may be missing pieces in our models, or subtle physics we have not yet discovered. As galaxies move away, their light is stretched by expanding space, shifting toward longer wavelengths, an effect known as redshift. This stretching is not just a measurement tool, it's a kind of cosmic signature, the universe leaving its fingerprint on every beam of light that crosses the vast distances. When astronomers observe very distant galaxies, they are also looking back in time, because the light began its journey billions of years ago. In that sense, telescopes are time machines, and the night sky is filled with history. A galaxy seen at extreme distance is not being observed as it is now, but as it was when the universe was younger, when stars were forming at higher rates, and when the cosmos was more crowded with energetic processes. There was a period often called cosmic high noon, when star formation across the universe was far more intense than it is today, a time when galaxies were busy, bright, and turbulent, converting vast reservoirs of gas into new suns. Over time, Much of that gas was used up or pushed away by energetic events, and star formation slowed, leaving a quieter universe, though still full of wonder. Among the most astonishing beacons from the distant past are quasars, brilliant, compact sources powered by supermassive black holes consuming matter at furious rates. As gas spirals toward a black hole, it forms a hot swirling disk where friction and gravity generate tremendous heat, producing intense radiation that can outshine an entire galaxy. Quasars are like cosmic lighthouses, visible across billions of light-years, allowing scientists to probe the early universe and the growth of black holes. It's strange to think of a black hole, an object famous for swallowing light, as something that can indirectly create some of the brightest light in the cosmos, but the universe often pairs opposites in unexpected ways. And black holes do not only shine through the matter they consume, some also launch immense jets of particles and energy, narrow beams that can extend for millions of light-years, sculpting their environment by heating gas and influencing how stars form in the host galaxy. In the largest galaxy clusters, where hundreds or thousands of galaxies gather, space is also filled with extremely hot gas that glows in X-rays, and the entire cluster's mass, much of it dark matter, bends light from distant galaxies behind it. This bending, known as gravitational lensing, can distort and magnify background galaxies into arcs and rings, turning clusters into natural cosmic lenses. It's one of the most beautiful demonstrations that gravity is not just a force, but a geometry, a shaping of spacetime itself. Light traveling through the universe does not always go in straight lines the way we imagine. It follows the curves created by massive objects, like a river guided by the contours of a valley. And there are other invisible travelers moving through you right now, so elusive that they pass through Earth as if it were transparent. Neutrinos are tiny particles produced by the Sun, by exploding stars, by extreme cosmic environments, and they rarely interact with matter. Trillions pass through your body every second, silent and unnoticed, like a gentle snowfall of ghost particles connecting you to distant events. Detecting them requires immense instruments buried deep underground or embedded in ice, listening for rare moments when a neutrino finally interacts. In this way, even the quietest parts of the universe can be studied, and even the most elusive messengers can, with patience, reveal a story. And as you absorb these ideas, you can let your mind soften around a simple comfort. The universe does not demand that you understand everything tonight. You can simply rest with the feeling of vastness, the gentle certainty that beyond the walls of your room, space continues, time continues, and countless lights are traveling, slowly, patiently, toward wherever they are destined to be seen. As your thoughts continue to drift, imagine the universe not as a collection of isolated objects, but as a living tapestry where every piece subtly influences the others. On the largest scales, matter is arranged with remarkable order, even though it may look chaotic at first glance. When astronomers step far enough back, patterns emerge, clusters of galaxies linked by filaments, surrounded by enormous voids where matter is scarce. These voids are not simply empty nothingness. They play an active role in cosmic evolution, gently pushing matter outward, shaping the motion of galaxies along the filaments that surround them. In this way, emptiness itself helps guide structure, reminding us that absence can be just as influential as presence. This large-scale balance gives the universe a sense of calm symmetry, where no single region is truly special, and yet every region contributes to the whole. This idea is reflected in what scientists call cosmic homogeneity and isotropy, meaning that on the largest scales, the universe looks roughly the same everywhere and in every direction. It's a soothing thought, suggesting a kind of fairness woven into reality itself. The laws of physics you experience here apply across the cosmos, from the nearest star to the most distant galaxy we can observe. One of the strongest pieces of evidence for this uniformity comes from the cosmic microwave background, that faint, ancient glow filling space. Its temperature is almost the same in every direction, varying by only tiny amounts, like a barely rippled surface on a vast, quiet lake. Those minute variations, however, are incredibly important, because they became the seeds from which all galaxies grew. Gravity slowly amplified those differences, pulling matter into denser regions over billions of years, until stars ignited and galaxies took shape. In that sense, every mountain of stars you see in the night sky began as a barely noticeable whisper in the universe's earliest light. There was a time, long before the first stars formed, when the universe was dark and filled with a fog of neutral hydrogen gas. Light could not travel freely then. It was constantly absorbed and scattered, trapping the universe in a kind of cosmic night. This era, often called the Cosmic Dark Ages, ended when the first stars and galaxies formed and began to emit intense ultraviolet light. That radiation ionized the surrounding hydrogen, stripping electrons away and turning the universe transparent. This transition, known as reionization, lifted the cosmic fog and allowed light to stream across vast distances for the first time. It was a quiet but transformative moment, when the universe effectively opened its eyes and became visible to itself. The earliest stars were very different from most stars today. Formed from nearly pure hydrogen and helium, they were massive, hot, and short-lived, burning their fuel quickly before ending in powerful explosions. In their cores, these stars forged the first heavy elements, scattering them into space when they died. Over time, this enrichment allowed later generations of stars to form with more complex chemistry, eventually leading to planets, oceans, and life. Every atom heavier than helium in your body passed through at least one star, and often through many, recycled across cosmic time. It's a deeply grounding idea that the universe has been slowly preparing the ingredients for complexity for billions of years, long before anyone was around to notice. Among the many particles and waves traveling through space, cosmic rays carry a special kind of connection between the universe and Earth. These high-energy particles, accelerated by violent events like supernova explosions or the environments around black holes, travel at nearly the speed of light. When they reach Earth, they collide with atoms in the atmosphere, creating showers of secondary particles that cascade toward the ground. Most pass through harmlessly, but their constant presence is a reminder that Earth is not isolated. We are immersed in a stream of cosmic influences, subtle but continuous. Some researchers even explore whether cosmic rays may have small effects on cloud formation or atmospheric processes, though the full story remains complex and debated. Still, it's calming to imagine the planet gently bathed in signals from the wider universe, like a shoreline touched by distant tides. And while cosmic rays are energetic and dramatic, there are also far quieter messengers filling space. Relic neutrinos, produced in the universe's earliest seconds, still stream through the cosmos today. These particles decoupled from matter almost immediately after the Big Bang, carrying information from a time far earlier than even the cosmic microwave background. They are extraordinarily difficult to detect, but their existence is predicted by well-tested physics, and their influence subtly shapes cosmic evolution. If we could sense them directly, we would be surrounded by an ancient sea, flowing silently through everything. The universe, it turns out, is not empty at all, but filled with overlapping layers of matter, radiation, and particles, each telling a story from a different chapter of cosmic history. And as these stories layer themselves gently in your mind, you can allow your thoughts to slow, knowing that nothing here requires effort or analysis. The cosmos unfolds whether we watch it or not, patient and vast, carrying on its quiet processes while you rest beneath the same sky that has witnessed all of it. As you continue drifting through this gentle cosmic story, let the idea of time soften even more, because in the universe, time behaves very differently than it does in daily life. Events that feel dramatic to us often unfold with immense patience on cosmic scales. A single star can live for billions of years, slowly converting hydrogen into light, shining steadily long after entire civilizations on Earth have risen and faded away. Even the death of a star, which may appear as a sudden explosion, is often the final moment of a life that lasted longer than most structures in the universe. Some stars end quietly, shedding their outer layers and leaving behind dense cores, while others end in brilliant supernovae, briefly outshining entire galaxies and scattering newly formed elements into space. These elements drift through interstellar clouds, waiting, sometimes for millions of years, until gravity gathers them again to form new stars and planets. In this way, the universe recycles itself endlessly, transforming endings into beginnings without urgency or force. On the largest scales, this slow recycling creates a sense of continuity, as if the cosmos is breathing in and out over eons. Light, too, participates in this. Patience. Photons released from stars travel across space at a constant speed, never aging, never slowing, carrying information faithfully from their point of origin. Some of the light reaching Earth tonight began its journey before life existed on this planet, passing silently through expanding space, stretched gently by the universe's growth. As space expands, light waves lengthen, shifting toward redder wavelengths, a quiet record of cosmic expansion written into every beam. This stretching does not weaken light's message, but instead tells a story about the universe's history, about how much space has grown during the light's long voyage. Beyond light, space is also filled with subtle vibrations and fields that we are only beginning to understand. Gravitational waves ripple through space-time itself when massive objects like black holes or neutron stars collide, sending faint tremors across the universe. By the time these ripples reach Earth, they are extraordinarily gentle, stretching and compressing space by amounts smaller than an atom, yet they carry information about some of the most powerful events ever to occur. Detecting them is like listening to the universe's deepest tones, vibrations too low and slow for human senses, but rich with meaning. And yet, for all this motion and energy, the universe maintains an overall calm balance. On the largest scales, matter is distributed smoothly, without preference for any direction or location. This balance allows cosmologists to describe the universe with simple principles, even as local regions remain complex and dynamic. It suggests that while change is constant, it unfolds within a stable framework, one that has endured since the universe's earliest moments. As you rest with these thoughts, you may notice how the vastness no longer feels heavy. Instead, it can feel reassuring, like being part of something so large and steady that there is no need for concern. The universe has been unfolding for billions of years before this moment, and it will continue for billions more, quietly carrying stars, light, and particles along their paths while you drift gently toward rest. As this quiet journey continues, let your mind wander deeper into the unseen forces that guide the universe without ever announcing themselves. Gravity is the most familiar of these forces, yet on cosmic scales it behaves with a subtle elegance that feels almost poetic. It gathers gas into stars, stars into galaxies, and galaxies into clusters, patiently shaping structure over billions of years. But gravity is not acting alone. The universe is also permeated by dark energy, a mysterious influence that causes space itself to expand faster and faster with time. This acceleration is gentle, almost imperceptible in any single moment, yet over vast stretches of time it determines the ultimate fate of everything. Galaxies that are close enough remain bound together by gravity, while those farther away drift beyond reach, carried outward by expanding space. In the far future, distant galaxies may fade from view entirely, their light stretched so thin it can no longer reach us, leaving each local group of galaxies isolated in a quiet cosmic sea. Even this distant future unfolds slowly, with no sudden endings, only gradual change. Within galaxies, another kind of quiet motion is always taking place. Clouds of gas swirl and collide, guided by gravity, rotation, and magnetic fields. These clouds are cold and dark, yet within them lie the seeds of future light. When a region becomes dense enough, it collapses inward, heating up until nuclear fusion ignites, and a new star is born. Around young stars, disks of gas and dust flatten into graceful rings, where particles collide, stick together, and slowly grow into planets. This process can take millions of years, unfolding in near silence. Dust grains, no larger than smoke particles, become the foundation for worlds, reminding us that even the smallest components can give rise to immense complexity given enough time. Across the universe, countless planetary systems are forming and evolving, many around stars very different from our own. Some planets are scorched and airless, others frozen and distant, and some may have conditions gentle enough to allow liquid water. While we do not yet know how common life is beyond Earth, the sheer number of stars and planets suggests that the universe is rich with possibility. This possibility does not rush to reveal itself. It waits, patient and vast, unfolding according to physical laws that have remained consistent since the universe was young. Meanwhile, light from distant stars continues to travel, crossing expanding space, carrying information from places and times unimaginably far away. That light does not hurry, and it does not tire. It simply moves, steadily, linking moments across cosmic history. As you rest, You are surrounded by this quiet continuity. The same laws that guide the motion of galaxies also govern the gentle rise and fall of your breath. In that sense, there is no true separation between the vastness above and the stillness within you. Both are expressions of the same universe, unfolding calmly, moment by moment, without effort or demand. As the universe continues its slow unfolding, imagine how even the emptiest regions of space are never truly still. Between galaxies, faint gas drifts, dark matter stretches invisibly, and ancient radiation hums softly in the background. Space itself carries memory. Every direction you could look holds layers of history, light from different eras arriving together in a quiet overlap. Some of that light began its journey when the universe was young and energetic, when galaxies were forming stars at astonishing rates. Other light left its source more recently, from calmer regions where star birth has slowed. All of it travels through the same expanding space, gently stretched by time, arriving here as a blend of past and present. This is one of the most soothing truths about the cosmos. Everything is connected through continuity, not interruption. Even change happens smoothly. When massive stars end their lives, their explosions send shockwaves through surrounding space, compressing nearby gas clouds and sometimes triggering the birth of new stars. In this way, death becomes a catalyst for creation, woven naturally into the cosmic cycle. Nothing is wasted. Energy and matter are simply rearranged, carried forward into new forms. On scales far beyond individual stars, entire galaxies also evolve through quiet interaction. Some pass each other closely, exchanging streams of gas and stars. Others merge slowly, their structures dissolving and reforming over billions of years into new shapes. These galactic dances are graceful and unhurried, more like tides than collisions. Even when gravity pulls galaxies together, the vast distances between stars mean the process is gentle rather than violent. The universe prefers gradual transformation over sudden change. This same patience applies to the universe's overall structure. Over time, matter has flowed along the cosmic web, guided by gravity toward dense regions while leaving behind immense voids. These voids are not failures of structure but essential components of it, allowing the web to breathe and balance itself. They influence how galaxies move and grow, subtly shaping the large-scale motion of the cosmos. When scientists map these patterns, they find an elegance that feels almost intentional, though it arises purely from simple physical laws acting over immense time. There is comfort in knowing that complexity can emerge naturally from simplicity, without force or haste. And as you lie here, letting these ideas drift through your mind, you might notice how they no longer demand attention. They can simply exist, like background stars, present without effort. The universe does not ask you to solve it or understand it fully. It only continues, steady and vast, offering its quiet presence as you settle deeper into rest. As your awareness floats gently onward, consider how the universe carries information across unimaginable distances without ever raising its voice. Light is one of its most patient messengers. Once released, a photon travels endlessly unless something stops it, moving through expanding space, passing galaxies, dust clouds, and empty regions without memory of where it began. Some of the light arriving at Earth tonight has crossed nearly the entire observable universe, surviving billions of years of change to arrive quietly at a telescope, or to be absorbed invisibly by the atmosphere. Alongside light, there are other messengers too, even more elusive. Neutrinos, almost massless particles, stream through space in vast numbers, barely interacting with anything at all. They pass through planets, stars, and your own body as if nothing were there, carrying information from deep inside stars, from exploding supernovae, and from the universe's earliest moments. They are reminders that the cosmos is full of motion we cannot feel and messages we cannot sense directly, yet all of it is happening continuously, surrounding us in silence. Space also vibrates in subtle ways. When massive objects like black holes merge, they send ripples through space-time itself, known as gravitational waves. These waves stretch and compress space as they travel outward, growing fainter as they cross the universe. By the time they reach Earth, they are incredibly gentle, detectable only with exquisitely sensitive instruments. Yet within those faint signals is the story of an event so powerful it reshaped space-time itself. Even the most dramatic cosmic moments leave behind quiet echoes rather than noise. On the grandest scales, the universe shows remarkable simplicity. Despite all its complexity, measurements suggest that space is nearly flat, balanced so precisely that it neither curves back on itself nor opens outward dramatically. This balance likely emerged during the universe's earliest moments and has guided its evolution ever since. It means that the rules of geometry you learned in everyday life still apply, even across billions of light-years. There is something deeply calming in that consistency, a sense that the universe follows rules that are steady and dependable. Over time, the universe has cooled and grown more diffuse. Star formation, once intense and widespread, has slowed, leaving a cosmos that is quieter than it was billions of years ago. Yet quiet does not mean inactive. Stars still form, galaxies still interact, and light still travels. Change continues, but at a gentler pace. This gradual slowing gives the universe a feeling of maturity, as though it has settled into a long, calm phase of its existence. And as you rest within this moment, you are part of that calm phase too. Your body follows rhythms shaped by the same fundamental laws, responding to gravity, energy, and time in its own small way. The universe does not distinguish between the vast and the intimate. Both are expressions of the same underlying reality, unfolding together, quietly and without effort. As the night grows deeper, imagine the universe settling into an even softer rhythm, where motion continues but urgency fades completely. Across immense distances, galaxies follow gentle gravitational currents, drifting along filaments shaped by dark matter. These invisible pathways guide their movement, pulling them slowly toward clusters or allowing them to glide past vast cosmic voids. Nothing here is rushed. Every journey unfolds over millions or billions of years, giving the universe a sense of patience that is almost comforting. Even when galaxies merge, the process is drawn out and graceful, like two slow-moving currents meeting in a wide ocean. Stars within those galaxies continue their lives largely undisturbed, shining steadily as their surroundings change around them. The universe seems to prefer continuity over interruption, flow over force. Light continues to play its quiet role as the great storyteller. As it travels, it carries the imprint of everything it has encountered: the expansion of space, the gravity of massive objects, the passage of time itself. When light passes near massive clusters, it bends slightly, its path curved by gravity in a phenomenon known as gravitational lensing. This bending can magnify distant galaxies, allowing us to see farther than we otherwise could, as if the universe is gently helping us glimpse its more distant chapters. Even the oldest light we can detect, the cosmic microwave background, still carries subtle patterns that reveal how the universe began, how matter was distributed, and how structure slowly emerged. These patterns are incredibly delicate, yet they have shaped everything that followed, from the largest clusters of galaxies to the smallest stars. There is a quiet beauty in knowing that such tiny differences in the early universe could lead to such rich complexity later on. Time itself feels different when viewed from this perspective. Billions of years become a single chapter, and the present moment feels both fleeting and deeply connected to everything that came before. The universe has been expanding and evolving for nearly 14 billion years, and yet here you are, existing within that long story, aware for a brief moment of the vast process unfolding around you. This awareness does not need to be heavy or overwhelming. It can be gentle, like realizing you are floating safely on a calm sea. Nothing is required of you. The universe continues whether you watch it or not, carrying stars, particles, and light along their paths with quiet consistency. As you rest, you can allow these thoughts to fade into a soft background, knowing that beyond your room, beyond the earth, and beyond even the stars you can see, the cosmos continues its slow, steady motion, calm and endless, holding this moment just as easily as it holds all others. As this gentle journey reaches its quiet close, allow the vastness of the universe to soften into something familiar and comforting. After traveling through galaxies, ancient light, and unseen forces, everything slowly returns to stillness. The cosmos does not end here, of course. It never truly ends. It simply continues, calmly and endlessly, beyond the limits of thought and observation. Stars will keep forming in distant clouds. Galaxies will continue their slow dances. Light will keep traveling across expanding space, carrying stories from places no one may ever visit. All of this unfolds without urgency, without noise, without needing to be witnessed. And within this immense, ongoing process, you exist as a quiet part of the whole. The atoms in your body were shaped by ancient stars, rearranged over billions of years until they became you, breathing gently in this moment. Your presence is not separate from the universe's story, but woven into it, as naturally as gravity and light. When you rest, you are not stepping away from the cosmos. You are simply aligning with its rhythm. The same laws that guide galaxies also steady your heartbeat and guide your breath. Nothing here is rushed. Nothing is demanded. The universe holds you in the same way it holds everything else, with patience and balance. As your thoughts begin to drift and loosen, imagine the night skies slowly dimming, not into darkness, but into peace. The stars do not disappear. They simply fade from focus, continuing their quiet work far beyond awareness. And now, you can do the same. Let the wonders you've traveled through dissolve into a calm background, like distant starlight softened by sleep. The cosmos will continue its endless unfolding while you rest safely within it. There is nothing left to follow, nothing left to imagine. Just stillness, breath, and the gentle certainty that you are part of something vast, ancient, and quietly beautiful. Good night.